Hey there, lovedies. Welcome to the Jim Master Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show Series. How are you and you and you and you and you and you today? We welcome you. Of course, we welcome you in style. It is a good day when we are together, right? It is hump day, isn't it? Wednesday. Nice to see you guys here. And we say thank you for joining us. This is our Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series that we started almost a year ago. We're coming up on a year anniversary in a matter of weeks. We're going to do a big celebration, thanking everybody for their patronage and for joining us here on the Jim Master Show Live. What is this show? Well, it's an entertainment lifestyle talk show series. We're bringing back variety. We're bringing back inspiring conversations, bringing back the lost art of conversation, entertainment, good times, good vibes with guests from all around the world and from every field of endeavor, wealth of experience, and so much more. They come from Broadway and television, Hollywood, former child stars, actors, singers, entertainers of all kinds, as well as sports stars and comedians and comedians, culinary arts experts, chefs, and so much more. Comedy, you name it, inspiration, all right here. And I am your host, Jim Masters, and we thank you for making us a part of your day. If you didn't have a good day today, well, you know that this is the place to smile and perk up, because that's what we love to do here on the show. We're spreading our famous levity, light, love, and levity. In summertime, I said levity accidentally, and that became a part of history. We are here to spread levity. Our viewers, as a matter of fact, call themselves the Lovities, part of our Levity Squad. They've dubbed me Mr. Levity. They call this Levity Hall here at the Jim Master Show Live. And our very special guest, award-winning actor Jeff McCARTHY, is going to be joining us live in just a second. And he's going to be hit with that Levity wave. All the guests love it, too. They love the Levity wave when it comes from all of our viewers. So we welcome you very much and thank you very much. And we say salute. And again, we hope you're having a good day. Very busy, crazy. One of those crazy, unpredictable, nutty days today. Very busy and getting even busier if this show doesn't make it busy enough in my professional work. Extremely busy with the television and radio work. So we're still balancing everything. Some of you have sent some emails. We'll definitely return those real soon. Some of you have sent some Levity packages our way, which I can't believe. You don't have to do that, but thank you. We picked up and retrieved the packages today. So we're going to be opening them up in probably this weekend. We'll do it. We'll do it this weekend and share that with you here on the air live. And thanks to those of you who have sent cards and gifts and all these things. It's unbelievable. It's so nice to see all of your faces too. I love having you guys here. Hello to my Levity family and friends. I'm Karen, who is in Nova Scotia. Jennifer Barry is in Allentown, Pennsylvania. We welcome you as well. We welcome everybody. Crystal Nolan, who's still celebrating her birthday from yesterday. We realized it was her birthday. Hi, Jim and everyone. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Looking forward to an exciting show with inspiring conversation and levity. And continued birthday blessings to you, Crystal, who's in Connecticut. That's right. Jason Communications, Master Your Power. Jill is here. Hey, good to have you. Hi, Jim, everyone. XOXO. Good to see you, Jill. Welcome to the Jim Master Show Live. And hello, Jim and Lovities. Happy Wednesday. Kathy Short, good to see you as well. It is already April 1st. So it's April Fool's Day in the Netherlands where Willie is. She's watching in Holland. It's already tomorrow because it's 1 a.m. there. So it's already April Fool's Day. So we're not really here right now. We're not really doing a show, Willie. This is an April Fool's joke. You're having a dream. You're sleeping in your bed. You're dreaming. You think you see Jim Masters talking to you, but I'm not really here. I'm not talking to you and we're not on the air. April Fool. I know that would make you devastated if we weren't here because you tune in every night. Over 370 episodes you've tuned into or something like that. I know we've done about 370 episodes of our series, which is unreal. We welcome you, and Mary in Florida welcomes everybody. Hello, Jim and Levity family. To you as well, Mary, and hopefully it's sunny Florida. We've got some rough weather, they say, that's heading towards the northeastern United States where we are. We're in the New York area, greater New York area, along the southern New England coast between New York and Boston. And nice and peaceful, but it does look like something is headed its way. No snow. We are done with the snow, but some turbulent weather coming. so I'll try to talk fast. Good to see you, Ann Wozniak. Very good evening, Jim and everyone. Happy middle of the week day. Yes, and you're in Florida, and Juanita in South Africa, where it's also tomorrow, April Fool's Day, the 1st of April. Hello, Jim and Lovely Squad. Happy April Fool's Day. And Kathleen Walker, hey, Jim. Hi, everyone in New York City. And Kathleen got a new haircut, she said. And I'll have to take a look at it. I know you texted me and said that you got the new haircut. So we'll take a look at that. I'm sure it looks stunning like you always look. And ha, ha, ha. Yes, you're checking to see if I'm really on the air or not, since it's April Fool's Day. Should be an interesting show, according to Deborah Halley. Well, let's see. We will try to make sure that happens. It's always interesting. And welcome, Deborah. Maureen is there in Arizona. I'm still at the hospital watching on my phone. Don't tell my boss. She says, don't tell her boss. Don't tell Maureen's boss. I'm not sure if her boss is a lovety yet, so don't tell her boss. She works in the hospital there in Arizona, and she always makes sure she never misses her show. So she's still working there, and she's watching on the phone. So I must be this small on your phone, right? Just like a tiny little thumbnail on the phone. Kim is here, Kim Wheatley. I taught Jeff when he was in high school. Wow. I'm going to have to tell Jeff, this is your life, and I'm Ralph Edwards. That is fantastic, and welcome to the show, Kim. Anybody watching on our YouTube channel, we would love it if you subscribe to the channel, Jim Masters TV, the channel you're watching right now, and share it with everybody. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our exciting content. Because in addition to the Jim Masters Show Live daily entertainment lifestyle talk show series, we also do these visual and verbal, positive, quick videos. They're kind of like TikTok videos, but they're Masters Mantras videos, and they're on our YouTube channel as well. Jill says, your shows are always amazing. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And it's always amazing and wonderful when you are here. Deborah says, good evening, Jim. To you as well, Deborah. Welcome. Christine Clifton says, hello, Jim and lovely friends. Welcome, actor Jeff McCarthy, to the show tonight. Cheers, Jim, Jeff, and all the lovelies. Good to see you, Christine. Hello to your mom. Karen in Nova Scotia is all excited because from Celtic Woman, former and original founding member of Celtic Woman, Lisa Kelly, is coming on our show. We just confirmed that with my dear friend Lisa yesterday. She's all excited. She'll be here in May, so look for that. We need to do a foodie recipe episode soon, Jim. Absolutely. I know we got to do that again. Dee Wallace, legendary actress Dee Wallace, is coming on the show a week from this Saturday. That's right. So keep watch of that. A week from this Saturday, the one and only television and film legend Dee Wallace is going to be joining us, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. So all these great comments coming in, keep them coming. Those of you watching and commenting, we welcome you. Those of you who are just watching and just sit back and enjoy, and we love it when you're here. And those of you who are going to watch this, because we post the links on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter pages. Jeff's also posting on his the YouTube episode link, so you can watch this again on demand 24/7. Great shot. What a happy guy he is, right? Happy-go-lucky in that photo. He just did some recent work with a couple of folks that you know are very, very well known, and he'll tell us about that just a couple of seconds from now. But first, of course, you know him from his Broadway tours, The Pirate Queen and Urinetown and Sideshow and Chicago and Grinch, Beauty and the Beast, Smile, Zorba, Les Miserables, City of Angels, just to name a few. And of course, off-Broadway, Kunstler and Southern Comfort and Sympathetic Magic and Dream True and On the 20th Century. And regionally, he's done it all from romance as well as My Fair Lady, legendary romance, The Misanthrope, The Piggy Bank, The Price, The Front Page, All My Sons, Sweeney Todd, Men of La Mancha. In television, you've seen him on TV, on Elementary, of course, on CBS, Madam Secretary, The Good Wife. Yep. In Star Trek as well, TNG Voyager, Law&Order, Cheers, Designing Women, Heat of the Night, and many other television shows. Film, starting out in the evening, Consent, RoboCop 2, Eve of Destruction, Rapid Fire, Cliffhanger, Michigan J. Frog for Chuck Jones, and the WB Network. That is just the short list, folks. And he sings too. He's going to sing. We have a clip of him singing The Impossible Dream coming up. Why don't we welcome him from New Jersey, right across the river from Manhattan, our great friend Jeff McCarthy joining us here on the show. Jeff, welcome, my friend. It's good to see you. Hola.
Hello, lovelies.
I love your microphone.
Yeah. You can see that. I mistook it for a glass of bourbon, you know.
It looks similar, doesn't it?
It doesn't taste the same, though.
Clean up on aisle 5. Clean up on aisle 5. Somebody knocked over the barbecue sauce and broke the jar. How are you? Welcome to the show. You look very nice and relaxed and comfortable. Obviously, you got the memo that we're bringing back the Law&Order conversation and our warm and welcoming, lovely atmosphere, my friend.
Yes, it's nice. And it's you're right. A storm is definitely moving in outside the windows here, waiting to see what happens. We usually have a big snowstorm right at the beginning of April. Just when you think it's over, I don't think that's going to happen this year. But anyway, yes, something's coming in. That's for sure. There have been tornadoes in the south and all. What?
Yes, something is coming is right. Yeah, the South, the tornadoes have been horrific.
There's Jill Jason. Hi, Jill.
Jill is fantastic. And Willie welcomes you from Holland, the Netherlands.
Holland. I want to come to Holland. That's my bucket list. Amsterdam is where I've got to be.
Amsterdam's fantastic. And other parts of Holland, too, or the Netherlands, are beautiful. Hello, Jeff. Welcome to Liberty Hall from Mary Bishop in Florida. Kathleen in New York City. She welcomes you as well. Juanita in South Africa, where it's already tomorrow. It's late into the night. She welcomes you to the show. Jeff and Wozniak in Florida welcomes you from Jacksonville, Florida.
Wow.
And then on the other direction, going north, Karen Campbell Green in Nova Scotia welcomes you. Welcome, Jeff. You are now one of us. A Lovity. Welcome to the Lovity family.
Thank you. It feels so loving and lovely.
I was going to say, you're very welcome. I was going to say that I've said this before on the show, but there's Emmys, Oscars, Peabodys, Tellys, Grammys, Tonys. But when you get a Lovity on the Jim Masters Show Live, are your feet tingling?
They are. Yeah. The toes are asleep on my right foot. But we'll talk about that later. Merlin says better late than never. Jim and Lovity, she's here in Canada or from Canada. And Crystal in Connecticut. Hi, Jeff. Welcome to Lovity Hall. She's celebrating her birthday from yesterday. And she welcomes you. Christine Clifton in North Carolina says, welcome, Jeff, to the show tonight. You are now Lovity. Let the Lovity begin. Christine Clifton. Kim says, behave, Jeff. Yeah, well, that I've heard that before from him.
But all he said was hello. And already being reprimanded.
That's our relationship for years and years now.
That's the best. Welcome, Jeff. Nice to have you here this evening from Kathy Short in Cleveland, Ohio. Merlin says something that I would love to, if I can print that out and put it on the highway billboards. Hey, Jeff, welcome to the best show on the internet.
Nice.
And she's not even a relative. You know, a relative would say that. Thank you, Merlin. I'm so happy to know that you feel that way. And Steve Hollywood is here. He says, hey, Jeff, good to see you, Steve.
He's from my hometown. Yeah. Santa Maria, California.
He does have a question for you from the hometown. Is that a microphone or are you just happy to be here? See, I told you. I'm
so happy.
Well, you just did a commercial spot recently, didn't you? Or a video or something.
The John Oliver thing, yeah. Which
John Oliver, which
we don't have an air date for it yet, but yes, it's an ad for erectile dysfunction, which now I've got all the love. There it is. Good evening, Jim from Denver.
Yeah, I was to do that erectile dysfunction spot video for John Oliver. Of course, everybody knows Comedy Central and more. Was that a stretch for you?
No, it's just that they saw my age and whatnot and thought that might be appropriate. But no, it was. Yes, it was character acting. That's for sure.
It was character.
I actually shot it right here where I'm sitting right now. And you
in this
haven't moved
chair.
since.
No,
That's why your feet are numb.
that's right. That's exactly.
Gonna be one of those kind of nights, folks, and we love it. This is lovely. So, well, you look comfortable. It's like I feel like Edward R. Murrow, and we're coming into your home, and we're going to tour your home next. We have a running gag on our show. There's been times when some of the guests have had to get up for a second to go do something quick, or go grab a book or an Oscar or whatever, or the child runs in and jumps on their lap, or the dog comes and licks their face. So they've had to exit quickly and then come right back, or their battery dies on their phone or their laptop. They have to recharge it. And I will chat with the viewers when that happens. So we've seen a lot of empty chairs. And there's this running thing now about the guests' chairs, because we have so many clips of empty chairs with the guests. And now I said I'm going to take some of those, edit them together, because we do the show live. We don't edit anything. But I think I'm going to go back in some of the past episodes, edit them together, and then we're going to play like a game show. Can you guess the guest's chair? Now that looks like one heck of a chair that you're in, something you just sink right in and you stay in it. Tell us about your chair.
It was in my dressing room in the Pirate Queen, actually, thing. And then I had it reupholstered, and then I ran off and I need to run off and get my Oscar, but I'm not going to do that right now. That would be just rude. But yeah, that's the story of this chair. Actually, this chair, I've painted this chair. I'm a painter. And my daughters used to, before I reupholstered it, they would lay it on its back, sit in it with ice cream or whatever, and watch cartoons as kids. So this chair has great sentimental value to me. Yeah.
That's fantastic. I love that story.
And there's a painting of it hanging right next to my bed in the bedroom there. This huge 5-foot painting of this chair, as a matter of fact.
There's a painting of the chair too?
Of the chair. Yep.
I'm
on Jeff McCarthy Art on Instagram. You can see it there.
Jeff McCarthy Art. Okay, perfect. Excellent. That is great. Tell us about the room that you're in itself. It looks very warm and comfortable.
I'm in this living room, and this is where I paint, actually, mostly with watercolors. I've done it with oils and acrylics a little bit, but I tend to mess up the apartment. So I stick to watercolors because you can clean that up better. Here's a painting of mine over there, just behind the guitar. And let's see, there's one. There's a few paintings here and there. Yep. You didn't know I could swivel my camera, did you?
I was going to say, yeah. It's just sort of like Edward R. Murrow and, person to person. And we're now at the home of Hollywood legend, Jeff McCarthy, and Jerry Lewis and Lucille Ball and all the rest.
Jerry Lewis. I hung out with Jerry Lewis one night. He came and saw Beauty and the Beast when I was in it and invited me over. So I went, he was doing Damn Yankees, and I went over one night. He said, we've got to go out. If you don't come over, I will send my people after you. So I went over, and we drank in his dressing room for about an hour. That was a blast, because Jerry Lewis had a huge imprint on all of us baby boomers.
What was in the glass? What did you drink with Jerry Lewis?
I believe it was bourbon with Jerry Lewis.
Bourbon with Jerry Lewis.
In his contract that his rug was always red, that they would install a red carpet in his dressing room. And sure enough, there it was.
Oh, that's cool.
How about that? Huh?
Learn something new every day here on the show. So how have you been? Obviously, a little busy with these projects that you mentioned to me off air that you've worked on recently. But say like in the last year or so, everything's been sort of shut and closed.
Pretty quiet.
Yeah. How have you been getting through it all, and some of the things you've been doing to stay connected and creative and to stay sane during it all?
Yes, it's I go a little bat stir crazy every now and then, but I've been painting a great deal. I think I've painted about 35 paintings this year. And I was up in Montana last March playing Cyrano, and we shut down 3 days before we opened. Between us, it wasn't a great production, so I let it go relatively easily.
Good to go.
But, hopefully they're not watching from Montana right now. That, and then I did a thing on Netflix, a gig for them, and I've done several voiceover jobs and been doing oh, what the heck is the name of the movie? Walter Matthau, Bad News Bears. I've been doing all the demos for that.
Bad News Bears,
And
yeah.
they've done a wonderful thing, turning it into a musical. They're hoping to move to Broadway once everything is back. So
Wow.
it's a great, great role. So that's in the works. And I think I've booked this movie called I'm Not Gay, which is the characters sing in this thing. It's going to be shot out in Fire Island this summer. And I play a guy, an older gay man who owns this house that a young man wants to buy from me, but I won't sell it to him because he pretends to be gay, but he's not. It sounds like a comedy, and there's humor in it, but my agent says this is going to happen. So we're waiting to negotiate that, which I hope does happen because it's an interesting script for sure.
Well, that's fantastic. Good luck with that too, and hope it all comes to fruition. And
a lot of theater jobs in the works as well.
Yeah.
Left over from a year ago, waiting to go, and Wilderness up at Hartford Stage, and yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. The Hartford Stage is fantastic, isn't it?
Oh God,
yeah. They are Goodspeed Opera House, Goodspeed musicals. They're fantastic. The Goodspeed.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I haven't been up there in a long time. Goodspeed. Wow. Yeah.
Great places. So how did you first get started, early on in your, youth? What were some of those things that inspired you to want to go into acting and performance?
Well, to be honest with you, I loved Bob Barker when I was a kid.
Come on down. Oh, sure.
Yes, my grandparents took me to Truth or Consequences. And so I was playing Bob Barker in my garage as a kid. And then I became a ventriloquist, and I was actually on the Bozo show in Los Angeles as a kid.
Were you really?
A ventriloquist. And then I grew up in a town, Santa Maria, California. 3 blocks away was the Pacific Conservatory for the Performing Arts. I was there with Kathy Bates, Robin Williams, Boyd Gaines, Harry Groner, Jeff Combs, all these amazing people. We were all there at the same time. And 3 blocks the other direction was Santa Maria High School with Kim Wheatley, who's watching tonight. And I hope he's not still angry with me. He compared me to, who was the famous, I can't think of the book. When I was in high school, he said I was a kind of a rebellion, and I guess I was. But Kim, you want to chime in on that? Do you remember what that was?
I thought he was going to say Fred Gwynn.
Fred Gwynn. Fred Gwynn walked by me in a restaurant in Soho.
Did he really?
Yes, about 20 years ago, when I grabbed him by the arm, and he was, there's June. Hi, June.
June, yeah, June.
Fred Gwynn, yeah, it was great to actually meet him. Although he resented me grabbing his arm in a restaurant. To pull
that
him
might be, yeah. Of course, those tuned in might remember him, of course, as Herman Munster on the Munsters. That was Fred Gwynn,
right.
Among so many other things. I know not about what you speak.
What's the book that Mark David Chapman was holding? Famous book when he assassinated John Lennon.
Oh yes,
he had. Oh God!
It wasn't the Bible.
No, it wasn't the Bible, and it's a very famous book, and I can't think of the name of it. The central character in that Kim used to compare me to. So there you go, Kim. If that rings any bells, he compared me to him once. Yeah.
So you were saying those were the Bob Barker thing. Did you want to be a game show host?
No, I just wanted my hair to be exactly like his. I thought he had the greatest hair when I was in about 2nd grade. So I would spend hours crying in the bathroom trying to get my hair to look like Bob Barker's. And then I wrote a screenplay about, my mother was schizophrenic. She died some years ago. But Bob Barker figures prominently into this screenplay, which a couple of production companies have shown some interest in. Catcher in the Rye. Thank you, Steve. Catcher in the Rye. And the central character in that book, playing the police officer in The Music Man. Yes, right. Yeah. Anyway, yes, Bob Barker was the beginning of my what inspired me early on until I became a ventriloquist with my Jerry Mahoney doll.
You had the Jerry Mahoney doll, huh?
Good. That's why I was on the Bozo show with my Jerry Mahoney doll.
Do you still have that doll, or no? Did it?
I do indeed. It's in the closet and probably decomposed by now, but it's still in there. Yes,
I had the Charlie McCarthy doll. I love ventriloquism. I love ventriloquism. And I want to get a new one too. I want to get a couple of replacements. Because I thought about maybe sort of bringing that into the show, because we have some cast of characters here. We've got Gilligan back there that came from Bob Denver's wife, Dreama Denver, who was a dear friend, and she was on the show twice. We've got Casper, the ghost. We got the I Dream a Genie bottle here, Silver the lab, Jimmy the Cloud. And then we've got, of course, George Burns is in the house with us as well. So the ventriloquist with a cigar and his hanky and the whole bit. He's always here. Sort of my Ed McMahon a little bit. June said she had the Shirley Temple doll as well. But I had the Charlie McCarthy doll, and we were visiting relatives in New England, our family on my mother's side of the family, and we were in the back seat of the car. My parents were in the front seat. And we're going back.
My middle name is Charlie, so
see,
make you feel, the levities are just
well. Yeah, what happened to the Charlie McCarthy doll? Was I think he came out of the Sears Wish book too. We were playing with it in the back seat of the car, coming back from our summer family vacation in New England. Everything is great. The McCarthy doll was a hit with all the cousins and the friends that made it through all of that. We're playing with it. And then my wonderful sister, who I love very much, played with it and pulled the string too hard and his mouth busted. And it stayed open. So when you have a ventriloquist doll and the mouth goes, it's pretty much
interesting. My Jerry Mahoney doll had the same affliction. Totally.
Did you bring it in for servicing to the dentist? Bring it to the dentist for Karen in Nova Scotia had the Mrs. Beasley doll from Family Fair and Chatty Cathy. So So tell us about, again, some of those early inspirations, not only the Bob Barker, but some of those opportunities that happened for you in California where you really got your feet wet and you really started to hone your skills, Jeff.
Well, Jim, Kim Wheatley, my high school drama teacher who's here, we did some fantastic shows in high school, and he actually took us on tour to England and Scotland, and I think we even went up to Wales, but we performed all over Northern England when we were in high school, a play called Trudy the Minstrel. He went on, it's a long story. Anyway, I went on to PCPA, the other 3 blocks in the other direction, and we did The Music Man with Robin Williams playing Marcellus, and Most Happy Fellow with Robin was in that, and Boyd Gaines, and it was an incredible time. Donovan Marley was the artistic director of that theater, and he brought people from all over the country, and it was the luckiest thing that ever happened to me. I was still in high school when they cast me in the Fantastics with otherwise an equity bunch of actors, and I was cast as the young man in that. And I swear to God, even more than being cast on Broadway when it first happened, I think the luckiest thing that ever happened to me was being cast in the Fantastics when I was 16 years old. So that was phenomenal.
It was fantastic.
And then I went to ACT in San Francisco and then was invited into the company there. And we toured all over, Hawaii and everywhere else. Then I came to New York. They offered me to understudy Kevin Kline in The Pirates of Penzance. And I said, who the hell is Kevin Kline? And thank you, I don't understudy anybody, and turned it down, even though I'd love to have been with Linda Ronstadt. But I came to New York and didn't work for 4 months, and they offered it to me again, so I took it as quick as possible. Wow, and that was where I started in New York on Broadway.
So they really wanted you to offer it again, usually.
Yeah, I know, after saying no. But I came and saw Kevin do it in the park, and, as anybody that saw it, it was one of the great comic performances of the 20th century. And Robin Williams. Yeah.
What was it like being a part of that?
It was fun, except once I got there, Kevin was going off to do the movie, so I understudied Treat Williams, and I didn't dig being an understudy, and so I left after 6 months and went to Goodspeed, actually, and did a show up there.
Yeah.
Opposite Barbara Baxley. She and I played up. And Carlton Carpenter, remember him? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then came back, came into New York, and have done 9 Broadway shows, leads in all of them, and except for Pirates of Penzance, that was just an understudy job. But yeah, it's been a great career. and
Tell
lots
us.
of TV and stuff.
And the people that you've worked with, and yeah, absolutely. And the of the productions, the Broadway productions specifically, is there one that really sticks near and dear to your heart? One that you just really have not that you don't like them all and love them all, and we're happy to be a part of them, but is there one that really is that one that is near and dear to your heart, Jeff?
I think that anybody that knows my career will know that I will say Urinetown. Urinetown was a show that most of us didn't like to begin with, and most of us wanted out of. When we started doing the workshop of it, they said, now remember, regarding your 2-week out, we all looked at each other like, no, we have a 1-week out. Everyone wanted to be gone. John Cullum and I were off in a side room chatting one day and said, oh, God, this show, I just don't buy it for a minute. And he felt the same way. And literally, we walked out of the little side room, and they were doing the number Snuff That Girl. And it was at that moment that the window opened, and we went, I see what this show is. And from that moment on, for the next, whatever it was, nearly 3 years, the show just grew and grew and grew, and we all fell in love with it. And it was the greatest ensemble piece I think I've ever been part of. The fabulous cast, Spencer Caden and Nancy Opal and John Cullum and just Hunter Foster, an amazing Jennifer Laura Thompson, an incredible group of people. So I would say, I mean, I guess I'm best known for that show for some weird reason, but it is also I'm very fond of it because it makes fun of Broadway musicals,
right?
Which deserve to be made fun of and have been made fun of ever since we did Urinetown. Yeah.
How do you describe your style of acting when people are, I mean, because obviously acting, you can be versatile, you can take on all these different roles. That is that is the test of a true actor. You can morph into so many different characters. But how would you describe Jeff McCarthy in terms of the actor, your style, what people tend to look for from you?
Well, it's a funny thing about show business is as soon as, like after Urinetown, I was invited to be the narrator in a couple of different shows after that. They follow suit depending on whatever your last success was, and now that my hair is this color, it seems that I'm in grandpa territory for the rest of my life. My daughters keep saying, Dad, you got to get low lights, but I haven't done it. I play, and with the world being what it is right now, white collar bad guys. I do that a lot on television. That's primarily what I do. And I think more and more in the theater as well.
You're looking a little Jack Jones. Can you break out into The Love Boat?
Did he sing that?
It was him. The Love Boat.
Lauren Tweez, who was on that show. It was also a PCPA back in California. We were all together there.
What is his name? Davin McLeod.
Yes, right.
It was Murray on the Murray Tyler Moore Show first.
Yes, right.
Steve says, Jeff was the funniest guy in our class and most popular, who everyone loved.
Well, I didn't know that.
It took all these years later to have the truth be revealed.
The most popular. I don't know that it's true, Steve, but thank you.
It doesn't say it in the yearbook, huh?
I did win most talented in the senior yearbook. Yes, as a matter of fact, I won that little award. Thank God.
Do you enjoy doing narration and voiceover work?
I do.
Yeah. Do you have the ability to do it from home?
I'm sorry?
Do you have the capability to do it from home, like a home studio?
I do, with this very microphone. Yeah. I go into my bedroom and set up a whole sound situation in there. Yeah.
When you go into the bedroom, do you do a Bob Barker entrance? Do you stroll in? I'm here.
I think that's a great idea, Jim. I haven't done that. And as soon as we hang up, I'm going to go in there and
get that
put on my suit and comb my hair just so.
You need the Johnny Olson to introduce you.
That's right.
The price is right.
You remember this, Johnny Olson. I love it. I love it. He also figures in my screenplay, Johnny Olson.
Goodson Todman Productions. Well, yeah. I'm a TV guy from working in television. It's all those shows, the game shows, all the classic
stuff. You look too young to remember any of that shit. But anyway.
Thank you very much.
Is it the dye job, Jim? Is that what it is?
Good lighting. You know that. I saw you're in town, a really fantastic show. Enjoying this conversation. Thumbs up from North Carolina and from Christine.
Thanks, Christine. Yeah, it was a great time.
Since your Steve
Holden
says
Caulfield, there it is. That's who I was, Kim Wheatley. That's who he said I reminded him of. Anyway, yeah, one of the great jobs I had when I was in when I was out in LA still. Yeah, I got cast by Chuck Jones to do the prequel to One Froggy Evening.
That's right.
You know, hello, my baby, the singing frog, right?
Yeah.
And then about 2 weeks later, my agent called and said, "Are you sitting down?" I said, "Why?" They said, "They want you to be the voice of the WB TV network." And this was a lucky break if ever there was one. I ended up hanging out with Chuck Jones for a month. I mean, we went into the studio several times and I rehearsed with him, and wonderful guy. And I'm friends with his family, his daughter and his granddaughter and all this now. But it did turn into the WB, which lasted only 3.5 years, unfortunately. Before
But
that,
still, yeah, the opportunity, amazing, right?
it was incredible, and it was a crazy ass paycheck to say the least.
Do you remember any of the promos or anything that you had to say? Do you remember any?
It was all WB. It's all on YouTube. I don't remember exactly what they were. I just remember one time, because I got paid. I had a contract to come in 2 times a week, and it was a big paycheck 2 times a week. And all I had to do one time was come in and say, "Yeah," and that was the whole gig 1 week. You know,
and that covered a month's mortgage.
You got that right.
And you said, "Yeah."
It also complicated my marriage, making that much money for doing nothing. I was also in Beauty and the Beast and Sideshow at that time as well.
So you had a lot happening at the same time. That's really, really cool. We actually have a reel here of some of your work that we want to share with everybody, which I think they will thoroughly enjoy, and gives them this just really scratches the surface minimally of all the incredible stuff you've done, but will give newbies maybe who are tuning in an idea of the scope and breadth of your incredible career and your extraordinary talent, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah, here it is. Take a look, folks. You may even remember some of these performances. Jeff McCarthy's Reel on the Jim Master Show Live.
Now, this reel is, I think, 6 years old, so there's some stuff on there. But anyway, go for it.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go to the videotape.
Oh, no. Yeah, we can talk. We can swear. We can do whatever we want. I want to talk about using her, putting her at the defense table like that. He's right. Women look at that girl and think, homewrecker.
Except she's not a girl. She's a grown woman.
Okay, but Saint, what's her name?
Alicia.
Right. Alicia Florrick. She was sitting right next to her, supporting her. I don't know. 2 experts say the exact opposite thing, and they're both 100% certain. I think we should take another vote with our hands. All those in favor of not guilty. Morning.
Hi.
Remember, we're having dinner with the Browns tonight at 7:30. You want me to send a car for you?
That would be nice.
Already. Have a good day.
Where have you been?
You knew I'd be late.
Fuck you.
You're drunk, Susan.
Fuck you.
This is a $300 shirt.
Put the paper down, we're not done yet.
Put the booze down. You're dangerous when you're drunk. Which seems to be all the time now, doesn't it?
Who do you think you are?
An angry drunk. That's the worst kind. You think you cornered the market on suffering? You think that maybe for once you could understand that my life ended 6 years ago? Have you ever thought about anyone but yourself since?
We lost you too.
I loved her.
That this hospital continues to survive 50 years after it began is the greatest birthday gift of all. And my hope is that it will continue to serve you long after I am no longer able to enjoy your smiles.
You see,
Sometimes in a musical, it's better to concentrate on one big thing rather than a lot of little things. It has to make the audience much happier that way. And, well, it's easier to write. Hey, David. You look fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Thank you. You know who isn't fantastic? The United States labor force. Oh. I was out in Pennsylvania. I was talking to steelworkers about what we need to do to turn this country around, and they all said the same thing. Washington is out of touch with the people. Now, they said we need to find someone who can lead this country, someone who knows what Americans want, someone who knows what America needs. Well, David, I told you, I have talked this over with my wife and my kids, and I told you if ever the day came, I would announce it here on your show. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have decided to run for the President of the United States. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America. Okay. All right. I'll see you in November.
Based on everything going on, you should have run.
Well, I'm happy with Joe Biden personally.
Oh, Joe Biden's fantastic.
Yeah,
But you said this reel was 4 years ago.
six years ago. Yeah. No, I should have run 4 years ago. You're right. That's for sure. But anyway, blah blah blah.
Do you like drama, comedy? What speaks to your heart more? Or do you like dramedy?
You do one when you're doing one, you want to do the other. It's like that. When you're doing Shakespeare, you want to do a musical. When you're doing comedy, you want to do drama. It's just the nature of art and the creative life, you know.
What reflects who you are more? Are you?
I hope it's comedy.
Yeah.
Not drama. Although I've had plenty in my life, haven't we all? But
yes.
No, comedy is where it's at, you know.
We also have another clip of you singing
the
Impossible Dream.
With my mouth open.
With the mouth open. I think the hair looks fantastic. You talk about the hair. I think it looks awesome. You're going to leave it that way, right?
Well, maybe Bob Barker will try and imitate me now. You know,
well, Bob's hair is that sort of pure white. It looks great on him.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's still alive, I believe, isn't he? He protects dogs and cats and animals and such, I think.
He used to always end the show, have your pets spayed or neutered.
Yep.
That's it. As he gave away the car and the boat and the new and beautiful washer and dryer set.
Right. Exactly.
So tell us about this, The Impossible Dream, Jeff. Tell us about the background. You know, what was this for? Anything specific, or you're just having fun? Or?
I've done this show 4 times, actually. I mean, I played Don Quixote 3 times, and I'd like to do it one more time if possible. Last time I did it was up in the Berkshires in Barrington Stage.
Oh, yeah, the Berkshires, yeah.
Yeah. No, this actually was shot. There is a theater out in Central California called Lompoc, California. You know, W.C. Fields made jokes about Lompoc. But a dear friend of mine, Mark Harrier, is trying to get this theater going again. So I shot this for him, and it aired about a week ago on a gala that was online. So I thought I'd share it with you because it's my best friend in my whole life, a guy named Paul Hobbs, who lives out in Central California, played the guitar, and you know, it's a nice little clip of this song, sung not in a big noisy way that you would in the context of the show, but yeah. Are you going to play it?
Barker's 97. Looking at Steve says Bob Barker's 97 now.
Is he really? Wow.
God bless him and Betty White, you know.
Yeah.
And Mel Brooks and Dick Cavett.
Yeah, Dick Cavett, I hear, is in great shape still.
And Dick Van Dyke. God bless him and Mel Brooks.
Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Dick
and
Cavett.
Norman Lear too.
Yeah. I auditioned for him once years ago. Yeah.
Did you for Norman Lear? What was the project?
I don't remember. It was years ago when I lived in LA. I went in, and there he was with his,
And there he was with his hat.
funny hat on. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But, wow. Boy.
Here we go. Yeah. Memories, right? Memories.
Yep. Lots of memories.
Here's the impossible dream, everybody. Enjoy. Here's more of Jeff McCarthy on the Jim Master Show
Jim.
Live. You're welcome.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, then my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star.
Very nice, my friend. Very, very nice. You knocked that out of the park. Really beautiful. I think you muted your microphone. You were so touched by this.
There we go.
You were so moved and touched that you lost the words.
I was whispering just to myself.
So that you said was recent. You just did that recently.
Well, I shot it about a month ago, but it was for this gala to raise money for this new theater out in California. Yeah,
that is beautiful. The venues and the theaters certainly need as much hope and help as possible. So it's a beautiful thing to do, Jeff.
Thank you.
Do you like singing? Is that something that you really enjoy as well?
I do. It was a surprise to me. I was in choir in high school, but suddenly I started playing leading roles in musicals. I didn't know, I have this big noisy Robert Goulet voice. And to be honest, I don't listen to musicals all that much. I love Most Happy Fella. I love that show. I've played that over and over and over, but straight plays are, I guess, my preference, but as I said, I love Urinetown a lot, and Most Happy Fella, La Mancha. I love playing that role and whatnot. Yeah.
Were you in the midst of projects that came to a halt in March? You mentioned some things that are sort of in a holding pattern until things can reopen and things can progress again. But were you in the midst of anything and then it shut down or stopped, like happened to a lot of people?
Yes, we were doing Cyrano. I was playing Cyrano up in Montana.
Yeah.
And that shut down 3 days before we opened. And then I was about to go and do All Wilderness at Hartford stage, and then do Godot, Waiting for Godot at New Jersey Shakes, and then go do The Price at Barrington stage in the Berkshires. All three of those went down.
Those were the ones.
But apparently they're all coming back once the theater comes back. So,
it's a beautiful
Broadway,
thing.
I don't know what'll happen there. I'm older now, and Broadway musicals are generally younger people, but we'll see. We'll hope for the best,
Absolutely. June says, so wonderful. And Christine says, terrific voice, Jeff, powerful lyrics. Merlin in Canada and Ontario says, unforgettable. Kathy in Cleveland says, beautiful. Juanita in South Africa says, beautiful. Jill says, beautiful. And Wozniak in Florida, beautiful, and love the expressiveness of your eyes when singing that song. Mary has all the Jim Master Show levity. Wonderful singing filled with so much emotion. Maureen in Arizona, that was absolute perfection. Kathleen gives you standing ovation claps from New York City as well. Yeah, if you're ever down in the dumps, just join us here on the Jim Master Show Live. We'll pick you right up in no time. Frank DeCaro is here. Hey, Frank, welcome to the Jim Master Show. Good to see you, Frank. Hi, Jeff. Dude, you're in town again.
Well, apparently there's some producer wanting to bring it back to Broadway because it's certainly relevant these days. And what is this? Do Iron Butterfly and Agata Davida. Yeah. No, but you're in town. Hunter Foster wants to produce it up at Syracuse, at his theater up in Syracuse. But also a guy has bought the rights for Broadway. So we'll see what happens.
That is very cool. Merlin has a question as far as the family being in show business as well.
Thank you for asking. My older daughter, Anna McCarthy, is a big casting director in Los Angeles. She works for Kim Coleman, and Kim is black. And if you need a black actor in LA, you go to that office. So I've auditioned for a couple different things, but it's mostly, she works with, you name it. I mean, a whole bunch of major things, and she's making good money. My younger daughter, Juliet, is an actress. She's 25 and is really talented, and I think all of that will come into fruition for her once the COVID is over. I've been trying to help her best I can, but the offices are all closed and everything right now.
Yeah, the studios. I was on a shoot. I had a milestone as far as years on PBS in December, and it was interesting because the studios where we were filming and shooting, we were doing some upcoming PBS specials, public television specials. The only people that were in a 6th-floor building with studios and offices and the whole bit were me, my co-host, a couple of camera people, control room people, and one or two others. Everybody, even in the television studios, were working from home as well, remotely. And trying to do the same kind of stuff remotely that sometimes really can only be done on location or in a studio with all the equipment and everything. It's really been amazing. Thank you, Austin Field. Another great show. Thank you. To try to get done what can be done. I mean, have you liked, in the early months of all this, a lot of people have said, oh, gee, they're on Zoom, they're on the internet, they're doing what they can do to stay connected. But now that, because it's been so long, I noticed a number of people, especially artists, have said, okay, I'm good with it now. I'm good with doing this setup. I want to be back on stage. I want to be back out there. I want to be amongst the people. I need the roar of the crowd, the feel of the energy. I need to be in that atmosphere because it feeds me.
Yeah.
So this is a great way to stay connected for them. They said, this meaning the internet and Zoom and all these types of things. It's not enough for numbers of them. They're ready now because it's gone on so long. They're ready to get out there and connect and be amongst people.
Yeah, community is what it's all about, We can do this, I guess we will do this for as long as we need to, but until we're all together, and God knows when we all are back in theaters together live, we will be just grateful to beat the band. It's just going to be an incredible time when we're finally all back together out in the public, you know.
I think for me, it was not so easy to include this world into what I do because of being in studios and being in, you know, on screens and things of that nature, whether it's radio or television scenario. So I think it was not such a dramatic transformation for me, although I'm, you know, I tend to be more traditional with the actual studios and on location and TV stations, stage, radio stations.
Yeah.
I've incorporated this into what I do professionally. So it might have been an easier transition, but still there is nothing like when we're all together in the same,
Yes,
and having a coffee and, you know, cheering on each other and that type of thing. It's truly the best. And you've had all these experiences, Jeff, in your illustrious career to really experience that at levels that are really extraordinary. As a matter of fact, we actually have some photos that bear that fact, such as, tell us about this. This is cool.
This is William Kunstler. This Jeff Sweet, who was on your show, I guess, about a month ago, wrote this play for me about William Kunstler, the great civil rights attorney that did the Chicago 7. Mark Rylance played him in the movie. His daughters wrote to me and said, "Oh, you got to get in on this," but they obviously wanted a big movie name. And so Mark Rylance is a little tiny guy. Kunstler was a big, tall, gangly, you know, guy like me and looked a bit like me. But we did this off Broadway, and then we did it up at Barrington Stage. And we're going to do it again once the theater is back. I wish we'd done it during the in the last year leading up to the election, because it was particularly resonant with Donald Trump ruining America. But this guy called truth to power over and over and over. I love William Kunstler, and I'm friends with his whole family. It's just was a phenomenal experience and made me much more of an activist personally. Yeah.
That is fantastic. And do you find that to be the case? Do you learn something new when you study the characters and you play the characters? I'm sure that every character you've ever played, somehow your life has been enriched by understanding their story and understanding their plight and understanding how they handle themselves and the way that they experience life, that it adds all these incredible new fresh elements to you along the way.
Yes, absolutely. The only one, when I was much, much younger, I played Thomas Jefferson in 1776 up in New Hampshire, right in 1976. And I just read a biography of him about the black woman that he slept with. What is her name? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah. No,
you know who I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
So I was young, and I was very downtrodden and sort of overly serious for a character in a musical. But other than that, yes, I played Albert Schweitzer in a PBS film, and that was a phenomenal experience, going to Africa and speaking from his pulpit in Strasbourg in France. And that was an incredible experience in a very tough time of my life when I was getting divorced. So I was extremely grateful for that. That's for sure. I think the Schweitzer and Kunstler are the only two, other than Thomas Jefferson. Those are the three actual historical characters that I've played. Yeah.
And what ones to play too.
I know. And there is Don Quixote. Yeah. This was at Barrington Stage, and that was a great, great experience. Great experience. I love playing this role. Cervantes, what he's all about. The show is a little bit of a museum piece at this point, and I'm hoping to do it out. I did Sweeney Todd out at in Salt Lake City 2 autumns ago, and we're talking about doing La Mancha out there again with Bobby Longbottom, who directed Sideshow on Broadway, directing it and reinventing it, because it needs a little bit of that.
Right.
The show is we've digested it for years and years, and it needs some reinvention. So I hope that happens. Yeah.
Look at this one.
This is Star Trek.
Yeah. What was it like being a part of that?
It was great. It was right before my oldest daughter was born, about 2 or 3 weeks later. And it was shot on the Paramount lot in LA. And I would wander the lots and look at all the scenery, because they were doing all the films, shooting them there as well at the time. but it was a phenomenal, becoming friends with Patrick Stewart and the whole cast.
Oh, yeah.
It was just great. And this was an allegory for Vietnam War vets, this particular episode called The Hunted. And I was programmed by some distant planet to go out and fight their wars. When we came back, they put us all in a penal colony. So it was a reflection of that whole, what happened to a lot of war veterans from Vietnam. It was, and I was cast by, what's his name that created Star Trek?
Bradbury.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ray Bradbury. Ray Bradbury.
Oh, no.
Wasn't it?
Not Ray Bradbury. Star Trek was created. Oh God.
The original?
Yeah, the original Star Trek and all the Star Trek shows. It ends with.
I don't know why I'm thinking of Bradbury.
Not Ray Bradbury. No. Somebody will chime in here.
Somebody will chime in. Yeah.
Yeah. But he actually cast me in this thing, which was a great honor. I did Les Miserables out in LA, and my agent said, no, it's a musical. Don't expect that to turn into TV work. And it turned into a slew of television work for me.
Gene Roddenberry.
Thank you.
Yes.
Barry. You had Barry right.
Yeah, I had the Barry and the R for the right. Exactly. Gene Roddenberry. Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I got to hang out and meet him and chat with him and whatnot. So
that must have been cool, huh?
It was a great, and it's a really quite a famous episode, actually, that episode of The Hunted.
Have you met Shatner over the years?
I have not. He was going to come into Urinetown at one point to replace John Cullum, and I don't remember what happened, but that would have been fun, and he would have been cool in that role. But
oh, absolutely.
It didn't happen. Yeah.
Here's another.
Yeah, this is Steve Martin's The Underpants at Long Wharf.
New Haven, Connecticut.
Yeah, and then over at Hartford Stage, we took it there as well. And Steve Martin came and said he loved this production and tried to get it moved to New York. And long story, but it never happened. But he said this was the best production of it that he'd seen. So that was wonderful. And he was there with us. And it was a great couple of days with Steve Martin. So,
oh my God, great experience. Tell us about this one too.
This is me playing Lola Cola, who is a real person who lives down outside of or in Atlanta, Georgia, transgender. I played a woman in this, and that's Annette O'Toole, who I love dearly, who played opposite me. And this was a musical that played at the Public Theater called Southern Comfort, based on a documentary by the exact same name. And this was just opened my mind up enormously. I have all these transgender friends now because of this experience, and I could not be more grateful for that.
So like I was saying, you learn something from every role and soak it up, and
that is absolutely right.
Which is absolutely extraordinary. Here's another cool shot.
Yes. This is Urinetown.
Yeah, we saw that in the clip. Yeah. I love that expression.
Let's see if I can do it. No, I can't quite get it right, But anyway, this was on the, that was a great experience. Here's Cyrano that never happened. We never performed it, but this was the one up in Montana Shakespeare. We did it up there. And nice. I would like to play that role again if anybody's listening.
If anybody's listening, Jeff's available. Yeah. Ring him up.
Great role. Yeah. Please. There is the great Stephen Sondheim.
Oh, yeah.
Harriet Harris. And we did Sweeney Todd up at Barrington, and he came up. We did Follies up there as well, and he showed up. But the other two shots, the one to the right and the one to the left, are from the production that I did in Salt Lake City 2 years ago. So, and I've done that role 3 times. I love it. And they're doing it at the Muni in St. Louis this summer, and I'm hoping maybe I'll get to do it one more time. So we'll see. But sometime, he and I, when I was in Salt Lake City, we were texting back and forth, sending emails back and forth. And yes, I've got them all saved on my computer. We're living in the day in the life of Stephen Sondheim is like living in the life of William Shakespeare, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
He's a genius.
Fantastic to have had an opportunity to do work like that, huh?
Yeah. He made me nervous when he was there.
What was he like?
Well, he was great when he came back. Very complimentary. Very complimentary. He's told me all the things that an actor would dream of hearing from Stephen Sondheim. So, yeah.
That's
The
incredible.
other shot was, this is Albert Schweitzer in Africa. I played him in this film on PBS, and he actually built this cross before he died to put on his grave, and his wife was buried right next to him. And
Wow.
he had a love affair with a woman. You see the cross in the background back there? That's her cross. And so it was a complicated story. He was away from home for, I think, 3 or 4 years at a time in Africa, built this hospital there and took care of all sorts of people with leprosy and whatnot. And now that hospital, well, at least when we shot this, was about 10 years ago, is the #1 AIDS hospital in Africa for people that don't have medical support. You come to this place in Lamborghini in Gabon, Africa. And so Albert Schweitzer created this great legacy.
That is unbelievable.
I'm very proud of that.
Oh, that had to be. Yeah. That's going to stick with you forever. Absolutely.
It was fabulous. You can. I think you can buy the film online or something on Amazon. It's a great
Amazon Prime and.
Yeah, right.
Is there a role that you ever passed up on, or wish you got, or anyone that was elusive out there, or a role that would be another dream role for you?
Well, Cyrano, because we didn't get to do it, I really and truly hope to do that. I'm looking forward very much to doing All Wilderness, to play the father in that show. Oh God, The Country Wife, I would love to do that play. There's a ton of them. Any Sam Shepard play I would love to do. I did A Lie of the Mind and Buried Child. We did the first regional production of Buried Child at ACT in 1979, and Sam Shepard came and worked with us on that. That was a great honor. But Sam Shepard speaks to me deeply, and I would love to do any of his plays.
Who are people, speaking of Sam Shepard and people that are also amazing, who are some of the actors, past or present, that you've always admired, that you've always enjoyed their work of?
Well, Meryl Streep, don't we all? I did get to work opposite Anthony Quinn on Broadway in Zorba.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a complicated fellow, but we got along well for a year. And then about a year before he died, I ran into him in Dina DeLuca down in Soho, and he had shrunk considerably. He was a big man,
Yeah, he was.
And there he was over in the frozen food section. I went over and chatted with him for a few minutes. It was great to see him one last time. He was a complicated guy. And I just recently watched the film of Zorba with Alan Bates, who was another great actor that I chatted with one night at the Tonys. God. I mean, let me think.
Spencer Tracy, those types.
And Joaquin Phoenix. I'm in the movie of The Joker.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a great honor to be. I didn't have any scenes with him, but I think he is one of the great geniuses of our time. The movie Her, have you ever seen that?
I didn't see it, but I've heard nothing but fantastic commentary about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a terrific movie, and I just think he's one of the great geniuses of our age right now. Yeah.
And some of the old school, the Spencer Tracys, the Cagneys, any of those, of course.
Katharine Hepburn came backstage after Zorba. She came. I said to Tony Quinn, I said, "Can I come back and meet her?" He said, "Oh, she's just a woman." And I went, "Come on, Tony." And so I came into his dressing room. There she was with her niece, and she talked to me the whole time. And I was like, "Talk to Tony. I'll get in trouble later."
Right.
She spoke to me, and then she got up, walked over to me, and slugged me in the arm and said, "You're damn good." Slugged me in the arm and walked off down the hall in her pedal pusher. She went back to gardening. I think it was a matinee, I remember. But that was a moment I will never forget in my career, of Katharine Hepburn slugging me in the arm. Yeah.
Steve asks, did you ever refuse a role, and why?
I have. I can't think of what they might have been, but I need to connect to something, and I'll be candid and say, politically, even Urinetown, was about environment that we are living in, that is, climate change is destroying, until hopefully Joe Biden fixes all that. Oops, what did June just say? I missed that. I saw the little thing she said there. Yes, I've turned down some roles.
There it is.
You got to meet so many incredible people. Oh, thank you, June. Thank you. And yes, on there's a thing called Bits of Biden that's on TikTok and a little bit on Instagram, where I play Joe Biden a little bit. But it's a long story. But because when I did the Letterman thing, my hair flipped up and back, and a lot of people said, "Ooh!" And I played Chicago, the show Chicago, in Scranton. And at the talkback with the audience afterwards, they said, "You look just like Joe Biden." And I thought, "Oh, really? Okay, whatever." So,
see, you never know. You can still run down the line. There's 2024. There are other.
Well, like Jerry what's his name before Colbert? What's his name? The talk show host,
David Letterman.
No.
Before Colbert was Letterman.
Colbert. What was the show he was on with?
Oh, his own show on Comedy Central?
No. Yeah.
Jon Stewart?
Jon Stewart. People have said, "Why don't you run for president, Jon Stewart?" He said, "Oh, I've got a shoebox underneath my bed that would destroy any hope of that ever happening." And that's the same for me. Yeah. I've lived. Yeah.
I was going to say, how about teaching and mentoring young minds? Do you like to teach others? Do you like to mentor others who are, in the acting world?
Yes, I've done master classes wherever. I directed Urinetown and University of Oklahoma and did master classes, and been invited to CCM down in Cincinnati to do some classes. And that may end up happening once things are back in order and whatnot. Yes, I enjoy very much speaking with young people and whatnot. Yeah.
What would you say to somebody watching this live or maybe on demand later, Jeff, who's considering now, because so much has changed in the world in the last many years, going into this for a career?
Jim, you ask good questions. I appreciate that. And my answer to that is, if you want to work in the theater, study politics, study art, study the world. Our work is a reflection of the world. And so many kids, when I've taught musical theater classes and whatnot, they refer to other musicals along the way. And I say, no. You must, the work ultimately must reflect this insane world we all live in. So read the newspaper, go to museums, study art, study politics. That is my advice to all the young actors that are listening.
So yeah, be well-rounded and be well-versed, because it'll help you with roles you'll have to take on to really appreciate and understand the character, right?
Yeah, it's art should be a reflection of the world we live in. So there you have it. Yeah.
So current things that you're working on now, you alluded to a couple of them. What are some other cool things that you're working on, Jeff?
Well, Bad News Bears, I'm not working on it, but we've done all the demos for it, and they're going to be pushing that to get a production going.
That's so cool.
Mostly I'm working, doing paintings and whatnot,
Tell us about that part. When did that happen? Were you always interested in art and painting when you were a kid, or did that develop later?
I drew a lot of pictures as a kid, but about 35 years ago, I was working up at the Huntington in Boston, and my best friend in New York City was dying of AIDS. And there was a Naugahyde chair in the corner with upholstery buttons. I did a painting, about a 2-by-2 foot painting of this chair, and the upholstery buttons looked like my dear friend's eyes. So I did a triptych of this painting and a version of the chair upside down, and then the chair flying up into the air. And I brought it, Robert Pollens was his name, Tomato Bob. He had a business selling tomatoes, besides being in Broadway shows in the chorus of several things. And I brought it to him, and we were going to hang it at his memorial. And he said, "You know what? My dad will take it and throw it in the garage when the service is over." So he said, "Keep it, Jeff, because it's a good piece, But that was when I started painting, and I've been this year painting more than ever. This year, and I was down in Atlanta about a year earlier, and that's been a great passion of mine. And I'm looking for representation as a painter to sell this stuff eventually once I retire from showbiz, because that will happen eventually. So.
How do you describe your art in terms of stylistically?
It's all sorts of things. I mean, some of it's abstract and some of it's representational. I just did. I can't.
Yeah.
A broken down old pickup truck that got banged up in the forest somewhere. But it's a wonderful painting over there.
You can pick that up and swivel it around. All the guests.
Well, let's see if it's over. Yeah, there you go. If you can zoom in on it, I don't know, but yeah.
Very nice. Did you do something with celebrities on sandwiches or something? Or
sandwiches?
Yeah, we saw something like that.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, we saw something like that. We wasn't sure if it was you or another Jeff McCarthy that's doing it.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, there is a Jeff McCarthy that is doing that work, and it's really interesting. It's kind of cool.
What is sandwiches? Is that a website or something you mean? Or?
No, he's taking the celebrities and he's putting them on top of sandwiches.
No, that's not my work.
Which is really kind of funky.
Kind of
Same name.
Idea. Yeah.
Same. I wasn't sure if that was you or somebody different because the spelling, everything is the same, and he's an artist as well.
Yeah, there's lots of McCarthys out there, that's for sure.
Juanita saying, "Love the pickup truck painting."
Well, thank you, Juanita. Thank you. It turned out all right. I thought it was going to not make it, but when I finished it about 2 days ago, it turned out all right. So
Merlin tends to always cut to the chase. She goes, "Oh, you're seeing someone, LOL." That's quite direct. Quite direct.
I was supposed to. I'm having therapy tomorrow at 1:00 about about people I'm potentially seeing, and I will leave it at that right now.
Well said. Exactly. Steve asks, does the stage require playing a larger than life caricature of a real person or an exact impression?
Well, it kind of depends on the writer, you know, how it's manifested. Yeah, depends. If you're playing in a large theater, of course, you have to blow it up a bit. You operate from your visceral coming from here, opposed to when you're in front of a camera. You know, sort of the center of your forehead is where you're operating from. But yeah.
What continues to bring you the great blessing and joy of doing this work and sharing it with everybody in the brilliant way that you have and continue to do, Jeff?
Just that it's a reflection of life, and I
it really is
continue to explore what that means. And yeah, I never got into it. It wasn't that I needed attention as a kid. It wasn't like I wanted to be the center of attention as a child. Well, maybe the very, very beginning of that, it was that. But shortly thereafter, even by the time I was in high school, it was about the content of a play and what it was about that inspires me and turns me on and makes me want to be part of it. So, yeah.
The content, right? Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as I say, more and more, a reflection of the political world that we live in, but that word political is a broad concept. So,
how about writing and creating your own works?
I have not done enough of that. I would like to write more, but as I say, most of my attention has gone toward painting, which isn't a direct reflection of the world, but if I was writing, it would be. And as I wrote a screenplay based on The Visit, the play.
Cheetah Rivera was in. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that's right. They made a musical out of it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. And I pitched it to a company in LA. They said, "What do you think of Steve Martin playing the lead?" And I went, "Oh, you guys, I don't know what the hell you're thinking." And I left the meeting. And this was a major production company. And then years later, when I worked with Steve Martin, I thought, maybe I should have followed up on that. Anyway, Steve Martin, he could do it. He's an original creative man, God knows, a genius. So,
Absolutely, my friend.
yeah.
Well, this was terrific. Thoroughly enjoyed this, coming into your home like this and learning more about you and the things that, you really are extraordinary at what you do. And obviously it's in your heart and soul, and it comes so effortlessly and naturally through years of blood, sweat, and tears and fine tuning and work and sacrifice, all the things we talk about on the show. But you thoroughly are loving what you do and doing what you love.
I do. And Jim, you are fabulous at this. This has been such an easy conversation, and I really appreciate you're able to find the flow of things. And so, I have no agenda in telling you that, other than that's how I feel. So
I appreciate that very much.
I mean it. Yeah.
Well, if finding the flow of things, I could have chosen this career, or I guess I could have been a plumber.
Were you ever an actor?
I've done acting too. I was on an episode of Law and Order. I have done acting, voiceover work, a lot of television, hosting, game shows, shopping shows, news programs, public affairs, weather, radio shows, stage emceeing, Carnegie Hall, all kinds of different places, writing, producing, all television, radio, stage. Love it all too. Studied it in school. The other thing I was going to do, if not this career of communication and entertainment or journalism, would be architecture. I love architecture and design, and I did study that as well. And it's still something that is of great interest as well.
Yeah. Anthony Quinn was an architect before. He studied with Frank Lloyd Wright before he became an actor.
That's right.
Yep. Wow.
If you weren't doing this, would the painting be what you do? Is that what?
Yeah, it is what I will do as the years go on. But in retrospect, I would love to be a set designer or a lighting designer.
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
But, if I had to make it a different choice early on, but
Absolutely. Well, never say never, right?
True.
Never say never.
Yeah.
Never say never. As long as we have a pulse, keep going. Juanita says, great conversation. Thank you, Jeff, for sharing your time and life stories with us.
Thank
you. Frank DeCaro says, Jim, were you on WICC radio shopping show on Sundays years ago? Actually, just up the road a piece in New Haven on WELI. I hosted and produced the Home Shoppers Show on News Talk 960, WELI, Clear Channel Broadcasting, iHeartRadio. There you go, Frank, WELI.
I love how your voice changes into sort of this melodic thing when you describe that.
I become all of a sudden the announcer, right? The on-air guy. WELI.
There you go.
Good to see you, Frank. And Jill says, great show. Thank you, Jim. And thank you, Jeff, XOXO. Right back at you, Jill. Steve Hollywood says, good convo and show. Thank you, Steve. It's good to see you as well. And Frank goes, yes, that's it. The home shopper, please hold. It's one of the hats I wore as a shopping show host as well. You know how it is. You wear a lot of hats in these industries, right? It's all pieces in the big puzzle. And then on a Sunday, you sit back in your pajamas, have a hot chocolate or whatever, and you whip out all the photos and the tapes and you're like, wow, I remember doing that. And I used to do that. And I did that. And it's all fantastic. As crazy and as all the work you do and the blood, sweat, and tears. And the key to what we do, you, me, folks that are doing this stuff, is to all make it look effortless and joyous and easy. But all the work that it takes to get it to be that is extraordinary. And you can write a book just on that. All those elements and pieces of the puzzle to get even some of the most basic things, even a show like this, which consumes a lot of the time, to put it all together and have it flow calm and smooth and effortless, which is the way I like it because it's a reflection of my personality. Still, there's so much that goes into it. And the key is that we make it look effortless and easy because we want to take people away from their own realities of life and negativity and problems and things of that nature, right? So when they come see you perform, whether they see you on television or film or stage, it's an escapism for them. It's the same thing with me. When they've seen me on television or radio or anything I've done, we are giving them something that, as we are giving it to them, we are getting it back as well. The giving, the inspiring, the uplifting way that we do what we do, we are being inspired and lifted at the same time we're doing the inspiring, wouldn't you say?
Yes, absolutely. It's the love of life and love of creation. So the hard work is a journey of love and exploration for me. I don't mind it at all. I mean, it's getting harder to learn lines and all that, but it just takes more time. That's all.
Absolutely.
But I do love it. Yeah.
It's evident. It's so evident in your work, and much more of your work coming our way. And we're so blessed by that. Merlin in Canada says, thank you guys. This was very enjoyable. Our pleasure. June goes, a life in show business. You got it, my friend. Call it behind the scenes. Yes, I'm sure Jeff can concur.
And June has written some wonderful stuff that I've read.
Yes, she has.
Yeah. She's very gifted. Right.
This was so much fun. Great conversations. All the times we've been on stages and in studios where lights burst and sets fall down, or somebody falls ill suddenly, and we've had to do what we've had to do to keep it going.
Yep.
Juanita in South Africa, where it's already tomorrow. Great conversation. Thank you, Jeff, for sharing your time and life stories with us. Kim says, thanks, Jeff, for sharing highlights of your amazing journey. Thanks for joining us, Kim. We love having you here, and check out our YouTube channel for more. Kathleen Walker says, nice meeting you, Jeff. Thanks for sharing with us. And I agree.
Thanks for being here all together. This is great.
My pleasure. You do look rather content there in your chair and just comfy, cozy in Maplewood. Thanks for a really interesting conversation. It was so fun learning more about your career, Jeff. Your passion sure shows in your work. So talented. Glad you are a Lovity now.
And I am. Thank you. God,
yes,
what a great honor.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Yeah,
we will keep the porch light on for you, my friend. Anytime you want to come back, anything new happening, you're always welcome. I hope the show met whatever expectations you had, and that you certainly enjoyed the time with me as much as I certainly have with you, Jeff.
I certainly did. Thank you so much, Jim. You're great. You're really great.
My pleasure. Oh, I didn't hear that. My sound went out. What?
Oh, I said you're great. You're great, Jim.
I toast you.
Hey, there we go.
Heard it the first time.
You haven't drank as much as I have. I had a little bit
of sake. Or
this was bourbon. It was a bullet bourbon, but it wasn't that much. But
was it filled? Was it filled to?
No, it was only about an inch and a half here down here. I just sipped it.
Well, I toast you.
What are you drinking? A Cosmo or something? What is that?
It's green tea.
Oh, in a martini glass.
It looks very fancy, doesn't it? It looks very fancy. On the weekends, we spice things up. On the weekends, we'll have something a little extra heated. But George says thank you very much. He thinks you're a class act. So
George. I owe you everything I've got.
He played God. Yeah.
I know. Yep.
I agree. We've got to hang out. So hopefully maybe at some point we'll all get together and break bread in the city, what have you, when we can.
In real life, yes, together. Wouldn't that be a trip?
I would love to do that, Jeff. That would be a pleasure. Frank says, you're an inspiration, Jeff, and thank you. Thank you, Frank. Anybody watching on the YouTube channel, we'd love it if you just subscribe to the channel and share and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily content. Kathy Short in Cleveland says, thanks, Jeff. Great chat tonight.
Thank you.
And more coming in here. Let's see. Merlin in Canada, Mr. Lovity McCarthy. There you go.
All right.
June says we got to hang out. Absolutely.
We will.
All
do
right.
that.
You take care. Go stretch those legs.
Thanks.
And take care of that great chair you've got there.
I will.
Thanks, Jeff. You're the best. It was really a pleasure.
You too, Jim. Thank you. Okay.
You have a good night. Be well.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Jeff McCarthy, the one and only, here on the Jim Masters Show Live. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for all these great comments, and thanks for all of your participation as well. We really appreciate it. If this is your first time watching the Jim Masters Show Live, we're here live 7 days a week generally, and we've done over 370 plus episodes. Tomorrow, oh no, we're going to have some fun. You remember him in Car 54, Where Are You? And so many other television shows, sitcoms, and films, and so much more. Hank Garrett, Hollywood legend Hank Garrett, is with us tomorrow. He is extraordinary. He's all excited. We did a test run a couple of days ago. Love it, love it, love it. He's going to be here. That is on Thursday. On Saturday, we have 2 shows. Yes, we have actress Reagan Pasternak. She hails originally from Canada. She lives in LA, and she has this wonderful book she wrote about dealing with loss and the grief of losing a pet who's like a family member. And she has this beautiful book from her own experiences. We're going to talk about, of course, her career, but also this new book. And then get ready for some incredible music on Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. So Reagan is here Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. So it's a special time, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific on Saturday afternoon. We're doing 2 shows on Saturday. Reagan is with us on Saturday afternoon. Then Saturday night, Lords Lane, brilliant singer and songwriter Lords Lane, is joining us here on the Jim Masters Show Live, coming up Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Just want to let you know as well, in just a few weeks, the one and only tennis legend and ESPN commentator Patrick McEnroe is joining us here on the show, brother of the other tennis legend, John McEnroe. Patrick has had a great tennis career himself. He's a brilliant tennis commentator for ESPN. He is joining us in just a couple weeks. Lisa Kelly, the wonderful soprano who was one of the founding members of Celtic Woman, is joining us as well. She has her own voice academy in Georgia. She's going to be amazing. And again, a week from this Saturday, Dee Wallace, Hollywood legend Dee Wallace, is going to be joining us here on the show as well. You can find the Jim Masters Show live, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on our YouTube channel. And again, we encourage and welcome you to share the channel with everybody. Keep spreading the word, keep tagging, keep sharing the levity. Tell everybody you know about our entertainment lifestyle talk show series, which is here for you, bringing you light, love, levity, inspiration, great conversations. And the old school of the lost art of conversation is back with a modern vibe and a modern twist of today. So join us. And again, we'd love it if you subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would be awesome. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at jimmasterstv. So feel free to like and follow there. We would love that. As we always say on the Jim Masters Show Live, don't forget to smile. Really important to do that. We say that at the end of every show. Don't forget to smile. Don't forget to share the famous levity that we talk about a lot here on the show. And always find your Zen place. Mine is with loving family and friends, and then music and tennis and cycling and writing and all kinds of cool things like that. But the ocean is a Zen place for me growing up here in the northeastern United States. With the ocean at our fingertips, it's really a beautiful thing. So swimming, surfing, boogie boarding, sailing it, floating in it, whatever it takes, I'm always in it and near it, the ocean. And of course, my work in television and radio and stage all these years on camera, on air, behind the scenes as well. Do what you love what you do. Obviously, our guest, Jeff McCARTHY, certainly has and continues to, as do I. And again, you guys are always a joy to have here on the show as our wonderful levity viewers from around the world. Keep spreading the word about our show. We always tell you to relax, love one another, love yourself. Everybody's welcome to our show, regardless of your zip code, your income, your height, your weight, political or religious views, doesn't matter. Everybody is welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live every day here for you. Inspiring entertainment, great guests, and lots of surprises. You never know what happens on the show. So breathe deep and relax. We toast all of you. We thank you very much for joining us here on this episode. Again, we thank our very special guest, the brilliant actor, film, television, stage, and more, Jeff McCARTHY, for joining us here tonight. Hank Garrett's with us tomorrow night. We have an amazing conversation. He's a Hollywood legend. Merlin says, that was a great conversation, Jim. My pleasure. And thanks for joining us as always, live from Canada, Merlin. Christine Clifton says, Jim, thanks for a fun time. Lovely hall tonight with Jeff. These are such fabulous special guests line up in the coming weeks. Good night, Jim, and all. Be well, and hugs right back at you, Christine. Have a super night, all. XOXO. You too, dear June and Kathleen. Great show, Jim. You're terrific. Have a great night. Good night, all. Stay safe. We try to provide some levity with the show, too, to lighten the load for everybody. You have a good night, Kathleen. Juanita, thanks for another great show. You are very welcome, Juanita, and good night, everyone. And Kathy Short says, upcoming shows sound terrific. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Yes, if you'd like to see some upcoming show previews, You can see them on our Facebook page at Jim Masters TV and our YouTube channel at Jim Masters TV. And have a good night in wonderful Cleveland, Ohio, Kathy Short. And Patricia, thank you for joining us as well. It was a pleasure having you here, tuning in. And hope you'll give some levity to our YouTube channel. Subscribe. We would love it. And we've got great guests all the time and terrific conversations. And sometimes we just do host chats and levity episodes. We've done episodes on food. We did a St. Patrick's Day show, Valentine's Day show, so many cool things. I snuck home and it looks like I missed the last part. I'll catch it in the archives. Well, we're still going. We're still here. And Jim, you look much bigger now. I look bigger because I'm not on that tiny phone of yours, right? Now we're on a larger screen. Sure you don't want to go back to the smaller screen? And you guys are the best. Love it, love it, love it. And Jill says, thank you, Jim, for another wonderful show. Have a great night, everyone. Good to see you. XOXO to you as well, Jill. Always a pleasure to have you here. Gang, we love you all. Continue to spread the word about the Jim Masters Show Live. It's always a blessing to have you guys with us. We thank Jeff. We thank you. You guys have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be back at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on our YouTube channel, the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show Series. Be well. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.